What's up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric. I'm your local Flagstaff realtor here in Flagstaff, Arizona. Today I want to talk about 5 things you need to do or to get yourself prepared for the Flagstaff winters, because it's coming. So guys, I just wanted to talk about a few things before the winter comes, because today is October 2nd and I'm out walking my dogs this morning. It's about 8 o'clock this morning. You can see my breath. Fall is here and winter is coming quickly. So today, you can definitely feel it this morning. We're probably in the mid to upper 30s. Today it's going to be beautiful though. We're going to have a high of I think 66 degrees, but at night now it's getting cold. Yesterday was the first day I turned on my gas fireplace in the morning, and you can see this morning I've got my fleece, I've got my sweatshirt, I've got my beanie, out walking the dogs because it's getting cold. So if you live in Flagstaff or you're thinking about moving to Flagstaff, winters are definitely a new ball game if you've not lived in the Flagstaff, Northern Arizona winters before. They can be beautiful. They are beautiful. And for me, I was born and raised in Michigan, so I'm used to winters. I'm used to a lot of snow and how to deal with it. But Flagstaff, it's a different type of winter. So there's a few things that you want to think about or get prepared before you move to Flagstaff, or if you just moved here, on things to make that transition or that winter season a lot easier and smoother for you. So I'd say number 1 for sure is be prepared on moving snow. And what I mean by that is don't come into the winter with one of those cheap plastic shovels from Walmart. You need to have some nice shovels, probably multiple, and I would suggest buying a snowblower, and not, if you're going to be in Flagstaff for a number of years, don't go cheap on a snowblower. I mean, it's such an essential tool to have. A lot of these storms that we get, these big storms, you're looking at 18 inches of snow in one storm, 24 inches, 30 inches, and that is not easy to move, and you have to keep up with it over the length of the storm, because if not, you are going to have a hell of a time getting your car out, being able to drive into your driveway. And so invest in a good snowblower, invest in some good shovels, be prepared for that stuff. Don't try to do that the day before the storm comes, because the stores are going to be sold out and you're going to be up Schitt's Creek. So look at things now, or there's plenty of services in Flagstaff that you can pay someone to come and do your driveway for you. And so, if you don't want to do that yourself, you just either don't have time, you don't have the physical ability to do that, maybe look at some services, paying someone in your neighborhood, a young kid, because there's plenty of people out there that will do that for you, or your neighbor or something like that. So I do several driveways around my house for some of the elderly neighbors that I have, and usually they'll pay me with some cookies or some brownies or something like that. So that's worth it for me. And but you definitely have to be prepared. Be prepared before the storm comes, because it's coming. We average 100 inches or more of snow each winter. So you don't want to be the day before the storm or in the middle of the storm and not be prepared to be able to move a large amount of snow. All right, number 2 is have your transportation prepared. So if you have a vehicle that you're going to be driving to and from work, or getting the kids to school or whatnot, 4-wheel drive is by far the best. So if you have the ability to have 4-wheel drive or access to a vehicle with 4-wheel drive, I would highly recommend that. Vehicles with all-wheel drive, they'll do good as well, but if you have a small sedan, 2-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, you may have some trouble in some of these storms. So there's a couple different options. Obviously going out and buying a new vehicle with 4-wheel drive is not the most easy thing to do, but you can buy snow tires. Any of the dealers, tire dealers up here, you can purchase snow tires from, and what those are, they're tires that have studs in them, and you can keep them on during the winter months, and that will help with your traction. And so if you only have rear wheel drive or just front wheel drive, you can get just those tires for whatever set, you know, works best for your vehicle. And it's not too expensive. You can put them on for the winter months, and then you can take them off, you know, as the winter dies down. You can drive those on clean, dry, asphalt roads, pavement, whatever. It's not going to hurt anything. You'll hear a lot of people have those tires on when the streets are dry, and you can kind of just hear it a little bit. It sounds like they're kind of driving on rocks or something, but it won't hurt the street, won't hurt the vehicle. The other option is getting chains. Some people put chains on their vehicles. That's a little bit more difficult to do yourself, and you can get into some complications with them. If the chain slips or if the chain breaks, you can get that wrapped around your axle. It can be real pain to try to deal with, especially if you're driving in a snowstorm. We've seen chains break off and they start slapping the side of the vehicle. So chains are a little bit more risky, a little bit more harder to deal with. So, but things to think about. Not only that, if you're traveling out of town, or maybe you live remotely out of Flagstaff, you know, maybe you're traveling from Belmont, Williams, Munns Park. Some things that they'll do too during these big storms is they'll actually shut down the freeway. They have gates that will go to the entrance ramps for the interstate, for I-17 and for I-40. And so, you know, if you live in Williams, but you commute to Flagstaff, you may be stuck some nights if they close down the freeway. So, you know, maybe have like a little overnight bag with you, something that's prepares you to crash out somewhere or stay at a friend's house, maybe some blankets or something like that. It sounds kind of crazy, but you know, a lot of people do that, and it can be a game changer and definitely save you if you're trying to get home one night from work and they close down the freeway. So things to think about for transportation. Third thing is prepare yourself for winter activities. You know, we're gonna have a lot of snow. There's gonna be a lot of new things to do, especially if you're not, you know, familiar with Flagstaff, or this is your first real winter living here. There's a lot of cool things that you can do in the snow, and you'll see there's be a huge influx of traffic, especially on the weekends, to Arizona Snow Bowl, our ski resort. So if you want to ski, my recommendation is go to one of the local ski shops. You can get ski rentals for the year, and that is so much easier, cheaper, and you can keep that gear throughout the entire ski season, return it in the spring, and then you're good to go. If you try to come up to Snow Bowl, especially on some of the busier weekends, when we first get some snow, holiday weekends, man, those rentals up on Snow Bowl are packed. I mean, people will wait in line for hours to try to rent ski gear while they're already up on the mountain, and you know, that just cuts into your time. So there's local ski resorts in town, downtown area, along South Milton Road, where you can rent skis for the day, for the weekend. If you're gonna be doing it a lot, I'd recommend it, renting them for the entire ski season. It just makes your life so much easier. If you wanna go sledding, there's several different places in town that you can sled. Buy a sled ahead of time. You know, sometimes you get up here and a lot of people are coming from out of town, from the Phoenix area, from California. They're buying up all that kind of stuff. So if you know you wanna go sledding, you wanna take the kids out, buy that ahead of time now, especially now with a lot of the issues with the ports and getting products out and getting goods out into the stores. You might want to buy that now to have it ahead of time, because you might not be able to find that come winter season. There's a snow park in the Coconino County Park in Fort Tuthill. There's a snow park there, so you can go, and they have activities and all kinds of fun stuff to do there. So if you're looking for a one-stop shop to kind of do that kind of stuff, there's no skiing there. There's mostly like sledding and geared around kids, and just, you know, having a place to go where you can rent tubes and sleds and that kind of stuff. So you know, that's available as well. So there's a lot of different things you can do. You can look things up, Facebook groups and whatnot, but you know, you might want to prepare ahead of time, because if you try to do that, you know, the Thursday before, you know, we're having a big storm and you're going to come up to Flagstaff for the weekend, or you're here locally, you want to get ahead of everyone that's going to be coming into town. So be prepared to enjoy some of these activities because it's awesome to get out there and be on the mountain with all this snow. All right, next on my list is when it comes to clothing. It gets cold in Flagstaff. Obviously, we get a lot of snow, but one of the mistakes a lot of people make when they first come here is like, oh my God, I'm moving from Phoenix to Flagstaff, or I'm gonna be coming from California. I'm gonna be so cold. And yeah, it definitely gets cold up here. I mean, you'll have days when it's below 0 degrees and it's cold. What you don't wanna do is just go out and buy the biggest, heaviest, thickest jacket that you can buy. One of the most important things to do is layers. Because we're here up on the mountain, out in the desert, it's the temperature change that we have it's like almost 30 degrees every single day. Like today, you know, right now it's probably getting closer to 40 degrees. Now that it's warmed up a little bit, but it's gonna get up to 66 degrees today is the high and sunny. And it's warm, like you'll be able to wear a t-shirt and shorts this afternoon if you want, but here I am right now. I got a t-shirt, sweatshirt, fleece, beanie. So it's much more efficient and you're gonna be much more comfortable if you buy layers. So buy a nice fleece and then buy a lighter jacket that's gonna keep you warm, maybe something that's good to, you know, have for snow and whatnot, you know, like maybe a thinner puffy jacket. You know, if you're gonna be outside a lot, maybe you just get some, you know, some long johns or something, some tights or something, and then your jeans over top of that. The more layers that you can do, the more comfortable you're gonna be, because in the morning, you're gonna be freezing. You're gonna want as much warmth as you can get. But by the afternoon, you're gonna be shedding all that, and you might be down to a t-shirt, even though it's the middle of winter and there's a foot of snow on the ground, because the sun is shining and it's 55 degrees and it just feels good. But then, you know, the sun comes down earlier in the winter times, and as soon as it starts getting colder out, it's definitely gonna get cold. So you wanna be able to put those layers back on. So, you know, a good friend of mine works at REI here in Flagstaff, and that's kind of one of the things that he tries to tell people each and every year. Don't just go buy that big, heavy, thick jacket, because you're not gonna wanna wear that all the time, and you're not gonna wanna wear that throughout the day. You're gonna want like a thin layer, another layer that you can put on top and take those layers off. So something to think about if you're, you need to go out there and get prepared for the winter, your winter clothing line, and buy some new clothes or whatnot. Think of it in layers, and I guarantee you, you'll be much more happier doing that than buying that big jacket. Last one, you know, I'm gonna do kind of like a speed round, because as I'm doing this video, I'm thinking of just so many other different things. So here you go. If you're driving in the winter, slow down. It's not that you can't drive the same speed. You can go as fast as you want, but you're not gonna be able to stop. So slow down, allow at least another vehicle length space in front of you for the next vehicle, because you're not gonna be able to stop nearly as fast on the snow, the ice, whatever. So drive slow. 2, if you are coming up to enjoy the snow and play in the snow and sled, please take your trash out of the forest. Every year we get thousands and thousands and thousands of broken sleds and trash just left all over the forest, and it just sucks, man. Like a lot of times the most, you know, frequent places where people will sled and people will come up and enjoy, the city will put dumpsters out there. Just pick up your trash and throw it away, so we don't just have our forest littered full of sleds in the springtime. Also, if you're gonna come up and enjoy the snow, and you're coming up from Phoenix, first time you ever seen it, or you're coming from California, don't just pull over on the side of the interstate and play in the snow. People get hit and killed yearly because you just want to play on the side of the interstate with your kids in the snow. Like, find an exit, go off into the woods. There's so many different places you can go. Oh, get yourself some sunglasses, because it's gonna snow and then the sun is gonna come out and it is the brightest thing you've ever seen in your life. If you don't have sunglasses, you need some sunglasses right now. Go get yourself some sunglasses, because it is so bright. After it snows and the sun comes out, you'll thank me. Think about getting an automatic start on your car. This is a life changer. If you can't park in the driveway, or maybe you live in an apartment or condo and you don't have garage access, get yourself a car starter. They're really not that expensive. I mean, you can probably get one for like $100, $200, and you can start your car from your house when you're nice and warm, and you can let it, you know, thaw out the frost, you know, the ice off your car. I've got one on mine. My wife has one on hers. even if you're going out to the restaurant, like you don't want to get out in the cold car and wait for it to heat up. Like, go get yourself a car starter. You will thank. So if you have just like a 2-wheel drive sedan and we get a foot of snow, 2 feet of snow, and it's the middle of the storm, and you just want to go out and get a Starbucks or something, come on. Like, there's so many people that get stuck alongside the road, slide into the ditch just because they just wanted to go get that one little thing, knowing that they didn't have the vehicle or equipment to get that done. Call a friend, do Uber Eats, you know, any of that stuff. Don't put yourself in that situation. And lastly, I'll say, you know, just be kind to everybody. You know, things kind of slow down in some of the storms that we have in the wintertime. You know, people are cold. You know, just be kind to everybody. You know, if you see somebody that needs some help, stop and try to give them some help. You have an elderly neighbor that, you know, needs their sidewalk shoveled, help them out a little bit, you know. It's just kind of hard because things kind of slow down a little bit, and it can be frustrating, especially if you're, you know, running late or, you know, you're in a time crunch or something. But, you know, just be safe, enjoy the snow. It's beautiful this time of year in the wintertime. And, you know, there's a lot of activities you can do, but just be kind to one another, have fun, enjoy it. And again, my name is Eric. If you have any questions on Flagstaff, if you have any videos that you would like to see on certain topics, let me know. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. I'll try to get some more videos out there when I can. And, you know, if you ever have any questions on real estate, investing in Flagstaff, investing in Arizona, moving to Flagstaff, I'm your guy. Give me a call, email, phone number, Facebook message, whatever the case may be. So, all right, I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.